Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Dana. I upload a new video at least once a week, so if you haven't already, now is a great time to subscribe so you can stay on top of all of those new videos. I recently had my first experience going into a tea shop since before COVID, or like, you know, a loose tea shop. And I went to Adagio, and honestly, it just felt so good. Even through my mask, I could smell like the smells of the tea, and they didn't have like even the sniffer samples out anymore, but it still just felt so good. And I got to like talk with the employees about like what teas I like, and they made me some recommendations and gave me some samples. So overall, it was just such a good experience. Really, really nice. So today I want to try one of the teas that I bought. This is Cherry Marzipan Oolong. And I'll show you the rest of what I got as well. But let's get this steeping first and foremost. So I have a clear glass mug, my metal basket infuser that I sell as my first, hopefully, step towards having my own tea and teaware business one day. If you want one of these, it'll be linked in the description. But let's go ahead and scoop our tea right into there. Pour in our hot water. And now we can set this to the side, let it steep while we check out the loose tea, the ingredients, and while I show you my little mini haul. All right, so Cherry Marzipan Oolong. This was the first thing I saw when I walked through the door, and I was like, I'm getting that. I had to grab some teas for a friend who's visiting my mom. She likes herbal teas, she likes mint teas, so I picked out some for her, but there's always like a deal there. I think it's like buy 4, get 1 free or something like that. So I absolutely did that. So this one is probably like the most like flavored one that I got. I decided to try their milk oolong. It's really nice. I definitely like the David's tea one better because it really the David's tea one probably does have some sort of flavoring in it to bring out that like milkiness, but this one's really nice as well. You can't go wrong with a milk oolong. I love it. I wanted to get like a genmaicha, but I just couldn't justify the price. One time I went to the Korean supermarket and bought like this ginormous thing of genmaicha that lasted me like probably half a year, and it was like $8 for that. And then like at Adagio, just their like 3-ounce bag was I think more than that, and I was really surprised because genmaicha is usually like one of the cheapest things in the store, in tea stores. So I decided not to go with genmaicha, but I bought hojicha. I recently tried hojicha for the first time at from that same grocery store. I bought tea bags with hojicha in it, and I really liked it. So it says here, green tea from Japan that is rendered brown by roasting bancha, a summer crop tea harvested after sencha, tea leaves. An Adagio customer favorite with a toasty, nutty flavor and slightly mesquite note. Earthy and warm quality, soothing finish. So I really liked it when I tried it from that store. I thought this one might be a little nicer quality because it's like loose, and the one I tried was in tea bags, and it was like the least expensive hojicha I could find at the store. So I thought instead of like going for the genmaicha like I normally do, I grabbed this one just to try something different, change it up a little bit. So I can't wait to try this. And then the last one I picked up, I'll probably do, or I don't know if I'll do another review because it's kind of simple. It's an Almond Oolong. I've never tried it, but it sounds really good. Almond is delicious with oolong. Almond is just so good in tea. And this one says savory almond with Taiwan oolong tea, which is my favorite, like a tea kuan yin. Smooth, nutty aroma, full and rounded body, sweet marzipan flavor. So I don't know. I actually am not sure I'll make a review on this one because it sounds kind of simple. So I'll just like drink it on my own time. But let's really dig in. So that's what I got. And then I got a spearmint for our friend and a blend called Cha-Cha that has peppermint, chamomile, and lemongrass, I think. But let's like dig into this Cherry Marzipan Oolong. So it says, The fruity sweet notes of cherry play with the soft nutty flavor of marzipan, and the ingredients are oolong tea, cinnamon, apple pieces, rose hips, natural wild cherry flavor, natural almond flavor, cherries, and rose petals. So that sounds beautiful. I love that they threw in those rose petals for me. And it does have like a really strong, kind of overpowering smell of cherry. I will admit, like it's strong, but it's not really like cough syrupy, because I know cherry can go that way. You know, like that Robitussin sort of vibe. But I don't really feel that in this. Definitely strong in the cherry though. That is like really all of what I'm smelling is like the strong hit of cherry. I feel like marzipan can read very cherry too. Like even if this wasn't like cherry marzipan, like for me, like almond extract and like almond things sometimes have like a cherry vibe to me. Here's how it looks all spread out on the plate. So this is like a darker oolong and like smaller pieces. It's not like the milk oolong or like the tea kuan yin where it's like rolled up in a ball and like unrolls in the cup. But we definitely see those tea leaves. Cinnamon, let's see if we could spot some of that. Oh, I do see like the little barky boys, these little tiny pieces of the cinnamon bark. Apple pieces, these nice little apple chunks. I like that. Rose hips, those are so recognizable. And they look like little like rose shells, you know? I love that. So magical. Natural wild cherry flavor, natural almond flavor, cherries. I think this is a piece of cherry. Like it looks like maybe a rose hip. It looks like almost like a smooth rose hip. So I think it's like, it looks like the skin of a cherry. So I think this is a cherry piece actually. And the rose petals, of course. Just to add that like floral little note. Oh, so wonderful. I want to look on Adagio's website and see if there's like a little more we can find out about cherry marzipan oolong. All right, so it says, you can't beat the classic combination of cherry and almond. Popular in desserts around the world, our cherry marzipan oolong celebrates this time-honored duet. The sweet, fruity notes of cherry play beautifully with the nutty flavor and soft, pleasing mouthfeel of marzipan, a delightful choice for an afternoon treat. And it looks like there are some mixed reviews, some really good, some not as good. Oh, I love that. I forgot that they do this. They have like ingredients and lore where it like talks about like really cool facts about the ingredients. And it says, first grown in China 6,000 years ago. Okay, so it goes on to talk about sort of, I guess, the first recorded like history of cherries, which is interesting. It says Henry VII introduced them to Great Britain after first tasting them in Flanders. In New Netherland, a settlement in Brooklyn under Dutch rule in the 1600s, the cherry first appeared in the US. Oh, so they sort of came to the US from Brooklyn. That's an interesting fact. Today they're grown in abundance in Michigan, making us one of the world's top 10 producers of cherries. Well, that's interesting. But I think we are about good to steep our tea, so let's take out that infuser. Oh, it smells really good. I kind of smell like the cinnamon in it, like in the steeped tea. It's still pretty hot, but I think I'm gonna go for it. It's nice. So it's not, I feel like I'm tasting more cherry than almond, like more cherry than marzipan. But I do still taste the oolong and I like that. I guess I kind of wish it was a lighter oolong. This one does seem like quite oxidized, so it does have almost like a black tea sort of taste where I wish it was like more buttery and like creamy of an oolong to contribute to like that desserty vibe. But it's good. I definitely taste the cherry. I just wish it was more almond, I guess. I think adding the rose petals was a good idea, but it really does kind of play into the cherry even more. Like it adds that floralness where like I wish there was more, I guess more of like an anchor, like more of like a deep, like whether it would come from the oolong or from like almonds themselves, like a deeper note to sort of like a nuttier note to kind of hold that cherry note, like to support that cherry note, because I am getting like a lot of that like fruity cherryness. And the floral note of the rose really like enhances that. But I want like that deeper nuttiness, you know what I mean? It's still really good and I'm still gonna drink all of it. But I think now I'm more looking forward to trying that almond oolong because it is like, I think gonna be more what I'm looking for because it's described as like smooth, nutty, marzipan flavor. Whereas this one like is definitely about the combination of the fruity notes and the marzipan. Like I want to be like, oh, this was the one I was most excited about. But honestly, like I'm excited about all of them. So I'm like a little let down, but not that much. Like it's not like I hate it. I'll definitely drink it, but it's definitely cherry heavy. So if you're looking for more of a cherry tea, this is definitely a good option. But if you are looking for more of that almond, that more like marzipan vibe, probably not this one. But that's okay, still really nice. Still not gonna be a problem to get through it. And sometimes I am in the mood for something a little more fruity. So this would be a good option for then. But also like I just tried the August Uncommon Dark Iris, and that's sort of a fruity and floral oolong tea, and like that one's just so much better than this. So I'm having like an oolong day. I feel like I've had probably 3 cups of oolong at this point, but I don't think this one's the winner that I imagined it to be. Yeah, it's definitely more fruity than almondy. Like I expected it to be kind of Christmassy, especially because there is that cinnamon, and like in the smell, I smell like cinnamon and rose, I feel like it's not so much like, the smell is not as cherry in the actual cup as it is like in the loose tea. Like it's very cherry. Oh yeah, when I smell it, the cherry is like overpowering, like crazy, like in the scent. But I guess in the cup it is more toned down, but it still is the main note. So I suppose they can't all be winners. But this one's not a bad tea either. It's just not like personally what I was hoping. But still good. So if you're looking for something cherry, I would go this way. I think Adagio has a pretty good selection of like cherry flavored teas. So definitely a lot there. I'm so excited to try the rest of these though. The Almond Oolong especially. I still don't think I'll make a video on it, but I think that's gonna be more of a winner. I kind of thought like this would be almost like a fruitcake sort of thing. Like the cinnamon with the cherry and with the, you know, I think like the introduction of the cinnamon really just led me to believe that this would be, I guess, a little deeper, a little more seasonal feeling. But that's all right. So let me know in the comments, like all the different kind of like fruit cakes. Like I tried panettone for the first time a couple years ago and fell in love with it. I always thought panettone was fruitcake. Like I thought that was what everyone would like make jokes about and talk badly about. So I was like, oh my God, like everyone's been lying. This stuff's delicious. Like I love panettone, but it turns out that like the fruitcake that you always hear, like the jokes about is completely different. It's really like dense and heavy. I don't think I've ever had that. But I really love the panettone and I really loved the marzipan stollen. So let me know, like, what's your favorite kind of like Christmas bread thing or like Christmas cake sort of vibe? I don't know. But yeah, this tea leaves a little to be desired for me, but you might love it. So anyway, I hope that you and your families are all staying safe and healthy. I hope you're having a beautiful holiday season and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.